Hi, I'm Maria, and this is Oz Costumes. So back in my earlier cosplay days, there were a couple costumes that I was really well known for. Those two being CL Phantom Hive and Len Kagamine. Today, I'm going to be looking at my old Len cosplays and judging them immensely. If this video gets to 50 likes, then I'll do the CL costumes as well. And if you're also interested in more cosplay related content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. Before I get into judging my terrible sewing technique, I just want to say that as I'm judging these costumes, this is strictly a self-assessment. I'll be very honest, it's really bad sewing. I do realize, however, that there are people who are currently at this sewing level, and that is okay. We're all beginners at some point. If anything, this should be a testament to the improvement somebody can make in making cosplay. And if there's a specific sewing technique or a thing that you want to know more about or want me to expand on in a subsequent video, just let me know and I would be more than willing to share that knowledge with you. So, with that being said, let's get into my bad sewing. You guys remember this? Okay, let's look at this. And looking at it already, it's a hot mess. This is actually very terrible fabric. Look at this neckline. Let me take this hanger off. Look at this neckline. Look at all of that. That's absolutely hideous. And not only that, it looks like I used a basting stitch for this. Like this trim right here, this bias tape, or I didn't even know what bias tape was probably, so this was probably like a piece of fabric cut on the straight and just stuck on here. But like, look, it's just a basting stitch down the middle that's absolutely hideous. And then if you look at this, there's like, that's a completely raw edge. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's a completely raw edge, and it looks like it feels like I took fray check and went all around the edges, because this fabric, I distinctly remember this fabric fraying like a beast. Oh yes, there's not even any lining or any sort of, it's just bad. All right, let's look at the sleeves. Oh, I didn't believe in any seam allowance. Look at this. This is like very tiny. That's not gonna last very long at all. Finish your seams, guys. Okay, let's look on the inside. What's going? What? It looks like when I cut this out, I cut it out straight. Like yes, this looks like it's a straight line. However, when I fitted it to myself, I made that alteration because I wanted to fit it to myself. However, I didn't cut away any of that excess seam allowance. And not only that, it's not pressed open. So there's like this, there's a stitching line here and a stitching line there. In theater, you should leave your seam allowances because you never know who's gonna wear it next, but I don't think anybody else is gonna wear this but me. And then look at this bottom part. I hemmed it and top stitched it. Then I put the yellow on and top stitched it, and that's not how you do it. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's look at the next costume, shall we? Now, at this point, I had been cosplaying for a while. I don't know. It was a long time ago. Do you think I remember specific numbers? Leave me alone, I'm old. This is Servant of Evil, and this was actually like part of one of my most favorite photo shoots ever. Unfortunately, the costume itself sucks, but it looks good in pictures. And that's really all that matters, doesn't it? So, let's look at this. So it looks like I used puff paint for the embroidery. It just makes the fabric really stiff. Okay, and I did the same. Oh, look at this. I didn't know what bias tape was because you see all the Ripley's going on? You see them? That means I did not know what was bias and what was not. Oh, and I did my famous one stitch down the middle thing on the trim. And it seems like I went total 180 from the basting stitch and decided to do a micro stitch, which is just as bad, because what if you have to change it? Seam ripping it requires a lot of patience. Can you imagine con crunch? These buttons are actually kind of nice, but they're plastic, and I can tell, oh, and the paint's coming off. Yeah, no, that's not good. Let's look on the inside of this. Okay, so it looks like I bagged it out. However, I didn't understand the concept of lining, because look, I bagged out each individual piece and I stitched them together. And so like we have a really bulky seam allowance. And of course, yep, and of course it's like not pressed out at all. So it's just like a big bulky mess right there. And let's look at our sleeve. Oh boy, oh boy. I still did not believe in having a seam allowance larger than 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch, it seems, and it's completely raw, so that's very stable. This arm's eye is actually, it feels really, really small, so maybe I should put this on. At least one arm's eye. Oh! Apparently my arms are that small. Now, oh, look at this. The lapel is a whole separate piece. Now, what you're supposed to do when you pattern lapel is it's supposed to be part patterned into the body of the garment, but it looks like I just stitched it on separately and I didn't understand. I didn't understand clearly. The trim is supposed to be continuous, but you know, I didn't know. I didn't know. And it feels like I have like a very stiff, crunchy interfacing in here, and that's just really great. That is absolutely flawlessly done. Look how even that is. Look at, yes. Those corners are so precise. I didn't know what mitered corners were. Ooh, I tried to figure out what a mitered corner was here. Oh, I was close. I was close, kind of. Right there. You see that little mitered corner? Baby mitered corner. So I did the under collar and upper collar for, you know, making a collar, but I didn't know how to sew it on because I bagged it out, and then I have a really bulky seam right here. So it's just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 6 layers of fabric. That's really bulky. Look at that on the inside. It's so great. I couldn't find the pants, but from what I recall, the pants were made out of a very lightweight broadcloth, and I remember them being fit very tightly. So what that means is I was wearing very tight pants with absolutely no stretch whatsoever. I couldn't move my legs. And then we have this cravat. Oh, Velcro. I love Velcro. I mean, okay, fine. Oh, look at this. Look at all that bulk right there. That's so awful. This is really bad. But I had good taste in picking accessories out. There's that. So those were my 2 oldest Len Kagamine costumes. Did you like it at my expense? I sure did. If you enjoyed that, don't forget to click that like button if you want to see more of these kinds of videos from me. And if you really liked that video, click the subscribe button and hit that notification bell, and comment down below telling me, I don't know what you should tell me. Leave a comment down below what your favorite moment was of my embarrassment. And with that, I will see you in the next video.